Hey everybody, St. Paul here. I'm not even going to mess around one bit. I can't wait to get right into this interview. Episode 54, Eric Gales is next. Hey everybody, St. Paul here. Welcome to episode 54 of Music on the Run. Man, I've been looking forward to this interview for a little while now. A couple of things before we get right into it. Little housekeeping. If you were looking for us with another episode a couple of weeks ago, we have switched to once a month. So just keep that in mind. We're doing it once a month. Big milestone. We've celebrated the 100th episode of Funk Friday. I hope you caught that special on February 4th. We had so many guests on. I mean, Randy Brecker, Ricky Peterson, so many people that I can't even think of them right now, but it was incredible. While we were raising money for the Peterson Family Scholarship in Jazz Studies at the University of Minnesota, we had an online auction. In fact, I think it's still happening right now. So we'll make sure to give you links either on musicontheRunpodcast.com, all of our social media, or on my social media, or the Peterson family social media. We'd love to have you check that out if it's still happening. But let's get right into it. This guy has been putting out records since he was 16 years old. And I'm going to make a big statement here, because I know a lot of these guys, and I'm going to drop a bomb here. I believe that this gentleman is the best guitarist on the planet right now. And I'm lucky enough to call him my friend. Please welcome Eric Gales. Eric, we're trying this again. I forgot to press record. All honestly here, we did this intro once before, and it was great. And I apologize for that, not having the tech together on that one. But welcome, man. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, bro. I am very honored and happy that your persistence stayed tried and true, and you kept your eye on the prize. The race is not given to the swift, but to the persistent, and that is massive inspiration from me to see from you, which is something that you have been providing for me since I was very, very young. And I'm sure we'll get into this, but
yeah,
I don't know if your listeners know how far me and you go back, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But yeah, I am so happy, man, to and I am severely impressed with, if you're not reading from a bullet points notepad there, you went through the monologue of the repeat of doing this again, verbatim. Verbatim, and that alone deserves a Tony, an Emmy, an Oscar, and a Pulitzer.
I'd like to dedicate this trophy to Eric Gale. Hey, man, I better learn something after 54 episodes, right?
You ain't kidding, man. You better do something.
You and I have known each other for a lot of years, and I think I remember meeting you in Memphis because of Tom Tucker. Is that right?
Yes.
So you went down there to House of Blues to be the studio manager, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He did. Great guy. But yeah, that I do recall. That is probably where we met. I think you and your brother were down there working on Crosby, Stills, and Nash a tribute or remake record.
Cover for a guy from Minneapolis. Yes. And you put a solo on that Ricky and I just looked at each other and went, this dude is an alien. He was beamed down to earth, because no one should be able to play like that.
Crazy part is I said the same thing about y'all. I said, man, these white boys. I said, these white boys is in here, man. I said, these boys got a loop that's going on that's killing me, dog. I said to myself, God damn. Anyway. It was awesome, bro. It was awesome.
That was what, mid-90s?
Had to be. Yeah. Yeah, I think, yeah, easy, mid 90s.
Well, let me tell yeah. You know what? The Peterson family considers you family. No matter how long it's been since we've seen you, you know we love you, man. And we are so incredibly proud and stoked for you for the new record and everything that's going on in your life, man. I look back at this, social media and I go, that's my little bro. And I'm so happy for you, man, and your beautiful wife and everything that's going on. So God bless you, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
You've been a little busy since I've seen you. Tell me a little bit about the brand new record you're putting out.
The new record, man, it is an extension of what I've been doing. This is basically an autobiographical record, man. Most of my records that I put out have been stories about my life, have been stories. I think that I don't know no other way to write but about stuff that you've personally been through.
Right.
And this is an extension of that. And, but I think this is more of some of the most deepest things that, we, meaning, myself and everybody that collabed with writing for this record, tapped into. I told them, my story. Basically, Joe just turned his phone on and I just talked. This record began the day after George Floyd died. And,
in my hometown, I'll have you know, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. I just came in there and I just, began to unleash, what was on my mind. And he said, Eric, my phone is recording. Just keep talking. This is what this record is going to be about. In parts, and then it just came. It came to thinking about all that had been going on through the pandemic and the racism and all of that, and how things had been surfacing. I mean, notice I said that it had not existed. It's been there. It's been there for quite some time, and I just thought about things that I've been through. And these titles just begin to come and just seep out. Too close to the fire. You know what I mean? It's self-explanatory.
Yeah.
Times where I've been pulled over by the cops and it got a little close. What made me any different than what happened to George Floyd? By addiction that I lived in for 30-something years, man, by my own hand. I don't blame nobody else. I almost died 5 or 6 times by my own hand. And that was being too close to the fire.
Right.
It's all kinds of things. There's been a massive storm that's happening in this world, man. And, it stems from, one particular, during the pandemic and some social media, and I began to be vocal about what, it's strange that the public or fans or whatever, even though we are entertainers and performers, and this and that, they don't think that we have a voice as well. And we don't feel the humanity part totally eludes them in their eyes of us as entertainers or artists or a guitar player or this and that. But at the end of the day, you take the guitar away, I'm a man and a black man at that. So, there are things that I don't choose to be quiet about, and somebody had the nerve to tell me to just shut up and sing. And it wasn't cool when the lady said that to LeBron, and it caused a big fiasco in the world, to where I said, man, if you don't give a damn about me as a man, then I could give a crap list on what you think about me as a guitar player. It really don't matter. And if I lose you, then I'll gain another one. So it was, things that happened, personally to me that made up the bulk of the material for this record, man. And, it was Joe and Josh, man. Here goes, a lot of what was being argued about back, was the whole separation of black and white. First of all, what nerve do anyone that feels that way have to think that how arrogant is it for you to feel like black and white are the only two races that's on this earth?
Right.
You know what I mean? That's first of all, to feel like the issue is about you. Second of all, here is stuff, and for those hardcore people that dislike others for their color or skin color, that don't understand how coexisting in the same space is possible. Look what happened when you got myself and a white guy together to make this record. How can you not see that it's very, very possible? How can you not see that it's possible with Take Me and You, for instance? We've been buddies for quite some time and have come up with some of the most beautiful stuff that anyone has ever seen. I'm going to kind of try to sum that up by saying, here is a way that can easily stop if one can open their mind. Let me give you a reason to hate me before you automatically hate me. You follow what I'm saying? That's probably the most powerfulest thing that I can say. Let me do something to make you hate me before you just don't like me because of what I am, who I am, or the color of what I am. You'd be missing out on a whole lot of blessings, man. And that street goes both ways. I'm talking to black folk. I'm talking to black folk too. It's some of the coolest white folk that I've had in my life, that I have in my life. And it's some of the coolest black people that I have in my life. But if you have a wall built up before you even get a chance to know them, you're missing out on something that could be, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole lot of things that you could be missing out on, and that street runs both ways. So it's things that I meticulously tried to get across in this record that I didn't want to come across, as I was very, very adamant on not having them come across as I'm shouting at people, I'm preaching to them. It was just, I wanted the audience to feel like I'm just having a conversation. And if they feel like it's just a conversation, they're more inclined to listen. Because if you're shouting, if you're trying to preach, this and that, the blinders are already put up. So you can't penetrate that wall. But likely, if it's a conversation and it's music that they like, then they may, that may be what gets you past the welcome mat. You follow what I'm saying?
Do you think, Eric, that music is the great unifier, man? Do you think that?
I absolutely believe it. I 100% believe it. Music and laughter. Music and laughter are two of the best means of communication and medication. So with that being said, I absolutely 100% agree with that being, very, very, very much so.
Well, I think with this record have an opportunity to unite a lot of folks. And you're right. I don't know about you, but growing up playing black music, mainly my entire life, I feel like I've had the blinders on to some of the racial issues that go on, because musicians, in my opinion, have always been cool with each other, at least the ones that I've been hanging out with.
Always been cool, man. You're right. Always been cool.
So you have an opportunity with where you're at in your profession now and the stature that you have to kind of show that and give that to other people. It's a gift, man. If we can do what we've done our entire lives with each other in the music business, and people can see that and go, wow, wait a minute. No, that can actually happen. We would be winning, wouldn't we?
Man, dude, I'm talking about absolutely winning. No brainer, no ifs, ands, buts about it. Straight win.
So let's wait one. I want to go back to the very beginning, because this is something that you and I haven't even really talked about. And we both come from musical families. I want to know what it was like growing up in Memphis with that Gale's musical family.
Man, I think I'm sure you've been asked this question several times yourself, because you was in that same category. And
that's why I want to hear your version. I want to see how similar it is.
All I can tell you is, man, it wasn't a day that the house wasn't filled with music. Growing up, we grew up in the gospel, man. We all played and it was just insane. More like a better way to put it, it was insane, just stupid with the things that were being played. My brother was turning me on to, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Johnny Hooker, Lightning Hopkins, Albert King, B.B. King, Freddie King, Frank Marino, Mahogany Rush, Eric Johnson, Blue Cheer, Vanilla Fudge, Foghat, Thin Lizzy, you know what I'm saying? Feel or Not, Trower. I mean, all of that I was tapping into, but at the same time, with me being 17 years younger than my oldest brother, I was also being very moved by the music of my generation, such as R&B, hip hop, you know what I mean? And soul and this and this and that, so this was creating a massive pot of gumbo that had the spices and recipes of everything, gospel, jazz, Herb Ellis, Wes Montgomery, Emily Rimmerter, Tuck Andres, Jerry Reed, Chet Atkins, Danny Gatton, Albert Lee, Roy Clark. Wow. You throw all of that into Stanley Clark, George Duke, Jocko, you know what I mean? Yeah. John McLaughlin, the Mahavishnu Orchestra, all of that stuff, man. Mike Stern, everybody, dude. As much as I've named all of these people, there's many, many more that I've left out. I don't know why I'm thinking about Shuggy Otis. You know what I mean? It's just, bro, I'm gonna take you back there if you let me, man. I'm just saying. So I'm just trying to, it's a bunch that attributes to the musical genetic makeup of who I am. Yeah. And a lot of that stemmed from 1019 Rosewood in Memphis, Tennessee, that I had it coming from all angles, uncles, cousins, grandmother, grandfather, like everywhere that it could be, it was insane. So if you look at the mythology of what I was raised around, it was inevitable for me to have the multifaceted incorporation of as many different styles and genres and influences that I like to tap into at any given moment.
Tell me about you.
That's the best way I can explain that.
Tell me about your brother.
My brothers was the truth, man. It would be no me without them. I don't know no other way to put it, but they're very significant. Well, my mom, my dad, my uncles, everybody was very significant in the foundation that was made that houses this conglomerate called Eric Gale. I'm very, very thankful, very grateful for having a household with brothers that were there as a role model, as learning methods for me to use, and hone in more and more and more on a career that I didn't even know that I was going to have. I just was doing it because I liked music. 4 years old, I just was doing it because I kind of dug it. I started on drum at 3 years old, and the rest was history. So, just I'm very thankful for the home that I grew up in.
Eric, are you the youngest?
I am the youngest. Yes.
You and I have shared that in common. So. Yep. That's the trickle-down theory from the older brothers and the moms and the uncles.
Right.
We get all that information and all those different genres. Like you said, it's the gumbo, isn't it?
It's the gumbo, for sure. Yeah. Yep.
How do two brothers end up playing guitar? What would you call it? It's left-handed and upside down. How does that... Backwards. How does that happen?
Man, I have no idea. But just,
Are you left-handed? Are you left-handed?
No, I right-handed. So excuse my friends, but I'm fucked up. I mean, I'm just saying.
I could have told you that.
But it works for me. by the time that I heard that it was the quote unquote wrong way, it was too late. I was already, you know what I'm saying? I was already in there.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, man, it just, hey, that's how it was. That's how it was.
So you're 16 years old. Yeah, and it still is.
Mm-hmm.
You just take my guitar and just flip the strap around.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you got signed to a major label when you were 16 years old. How does that affect you mentally? Was that a good thing for you, Eric, personally?
It was. Man, because I had nothing to worry about. I had my older brothers, you know, Hubert Crawford, I had them around. And they said, you know, you don't have to worry about nothing but just play, and we'll take care of the rest. And I was kept informed on all the business meetings. I was there because my brother would always tell me. He said, "Man, I need you to be in these meetings because I'm not gonna always be around, and I need you to know what's going on." You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I learned, you know, about the music industry as much as I was learning about playing music. So that I am very, very, you know, appreciative of. It was the latter part, you know, it was the latter part of life going through that. After the second record, man, I began to dive into some other things, man, that, you know, took my life down a venture of 30-something years.
I want to talk to you about this.
Torment.
You and I want to talk about this because, you know, we shared that same thing, that problem with addiction. Just celebrated 23 years of sobriety Saturday. And and that's a big deal, man. But that is part of your journey. It makes up who Eric Gales is today. It makes up what this record sounds like. All those experiences make up who you are today and the beautiful life that you have. Thank God, you know. Tell me about that dark side, and how did you get out, man? How did you finally get out?
Man, put it like this, without resonating too much into the dark side, it was dark, bro. It was dark that, you know, incorporated everything that you could think of. Prison, guns, you know, potentially ODing a couple times.
Man.
Everything else in between, man. And I don't know how, you know, I kind of got an idea. It was people that, you know, it was the prayers of people, man, that I didn't know that they were praying for me. That I think sustained me in times that I was completely out of my mind. That's the only thing I can think of, because ain't no way possible I was supposed to be even alive to be doing this interview with you.
Right.
You know, and, you know, I met my wife, man, in 2012. And after 4 years of trying to do it and keep it hid from her on things that I was doing, man, she just said, you know, I don't know, Eric. So I know about weed and I know about drinking, but you into something that I don't know what it is. And I can't continue to keep watching you kill yourself, man. It's, you know, I love you too much for that. And it hurts to watch you like losing weight in my face. And, you know, it's just, you know. So I said, after the many times I had, dude, you saw that? I had said to myself many times, man, you know, and I have tried, you know, to go to rehab, but neither one of the times I was willing. You know what I mean? I went to appease other entities and other people, and, you know, didn't go. I went in half-cocked, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I said to myself, man, I'm going to try this out. I told my wife, I said, man, all I'm going to tell you is you just wait. And I said, if I don't like this thing, I always got misery that's waiting on me. Like, I can always go back to that, you know, go back to what I know, which is miserableness, uncomfortable. I mean, comfortable, believe it or not, if that can make sense, comfortable miserableness that I had grown to get used to. Like, and was very comfortable in it. Like, I was okay knowing I was going to die as high as I possibly could. I was all right with that. And to think about it, man, that's a terrible mindset. Like, take away, okay, just as a human being, but knowing that I possess a gift that the big man upstairs he didn't pass that out to everybody.
He did
you know what
not.
I mean? He didn't give it to everybody, man. And all I can say is you put that into the mix too, man. I'm just tarnishing this diamond that has been freely given to me. Yeah. And I mean given to me bountifully. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm not bragging, I'm just giving facts. Like, yo, man, for me to have started that early in life, it was already given to me. It was already working in my mom's and pop's womb before I came out. It had already been doing its thing. So let alone as a human being tarnishing my own light, but as a gifted human being, tarnishing that too, you know, basically just letting it diminish away. And I'm very thankful that, you know, I can still add, multiply, subtract. My organs and fingers still work. You know, I know plenty of folk that they elevated don't go all the way up top no more. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they're alive, but they ain't alive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with all that being said, man, this is a massive resurgence of, you know, I've done at least 300 interviews since November. And all of them, you know, the terminology of a phoenix rising from the ashes is what is a recurring topic.
Well,
that comes up, man. And, you know, I just, you know, I am, you know, just thankful that, you know, I said, man, let me try this, man. And it took, and, you know, January 15th was 5.5 years. And, you know, that's
what I'm talking about.
To tell you the truth. Who'd have thought that? Like, who'd have thought I could have got 5.5 minutes just to be, you know what I'm saying? It was, bro.
I remember the days, man. You and I were on the road together, but with Pam Morrison, and I was in your band and you were in my band. And when we went our separate ways, you went to cop and I went, and I was newly sober. So I remember, and I'm like,
man, dude.
We have stories together too.
We got a few, man. We got a few.
All I gotta say, man, is welcome to the other side. It's good to have you on this side of the sod and making music. And I got to tell you, man, you sound better than you've ever sounded, more confident. I hear all the different gumbo that you were blessed with growing up in that house, all sorts of stuff on this record from, you know, I don't want to give it when you say a blues player, sometimes you get tapped with that thing. Dude, you are so far beyond what that is, because you can play whatever you want from that gumbo that you were given as a kid. You can play jazz. You can play country. You can play funk. You're on my record. I mean, yeah, which is great. And we've done stuff with F Deluxe together. So you and I have, but to be able to see you, like I said earlier in this interview, to see you just skyrocketing sober and able to enjoy it and not self-destructing makes all of us just so happy and so proud, man. So way to go. I'm glad it was a long road to get there, man, but damn, it looks good on you.
Thank you, man. I'm just trying to do my best Paul Peterson impression.
Hey, tell me about Joe Bonamassa.
What do you want to know?
Who is he to you, man? You were talking about a Joe earlier, and that's who he was talking about, everybody.
He's one of my best friends, bro. We go back 30 years, man. We met 30 years ago. After we met, you know, Joe's career skyrocketed, man. He took the bull by the horns and, you know, worked his way into a blues rock titan. And we were basically sitting eye to eye at the table when we first met, you know, and then mine went, you know, the other way. I took the bull by the horns in the most negative way. And again, very thankful that I didn't die in the process, man. We rekindled and I asked him to produce the record, man. And him and Josh Smith, you know, they've been doing pretty good as a team lately. So, you know, they they came in and we went for it, man. We went for it. But Joe and I have been, sometimes when you got somebody that's a friend and they're deep down in their abyss that far, you have to love them from afar and just pray and hope that all, goes well with them, But when we reconnected, man, he said, "You have no idea how long I've been waiting on you, man. You wanted to catch that I met back when." And he said, "I'm gonna do everything in my power to help elevate you to where I can help get you to." And basically, he said that, and then he said, "Man, my hope is for you to surpass me." He said, "Dude, you got something that this entire lifetime rarely see." And and especially when I say rarely see as a gift, but also rarely see it as a reinvention, a second chance, so to say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
At life and at your career.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very rare, man. That's very rare.
Are you having fun?
Dude, I'm having the time of my life, man. I'm having the time of my life.
Yeah.
I'm having the time of my life with 6 credit cards in my pocket of my own.
See? See?
I'm gonna just leave it at that. I got 2 old school classic cars. I'm gonna leave it at that. Dude, I am doing pretty well, man. Doing pretty well.
Well, like I
said, this is
before,
the crazy part, because when I said 2 classic old school cars, all I saw was the top of my wife's head looking over this way, because she said to me, "One of them belong to me."
That sounds like a normal marriage to me. Yeah. Well, that LaDonna.
I thought she was over there watching Janet Jackson story. She's both been over there on her iPad watching Janet Jackson. Which you guys, there is a circle in that whole the connection. The 5 degrees, the 6 degrees, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, Jelly Bean Johnson, Black Cat. You guys are so connected with all that. It is crazy that she's watching this Janet Jackson, because that is a story that's on A&E right now about Janet Jackson's life. And, I don't know if she even knows that, there is a connection with just some serious Minnesota stank, on involved in, and the stove being on that provided the cooking sauce for such a for such a esteemed artist.
That Janet came and saw me when I did at First Avenue, when I did my one and only gig with the family. She was there.
Wow, that's crazy.
Then when I was in California, A&M Records called me up and said, "We want you to produce Janet." And so I went in and met with them at A&M about producing Janet. And then they dropped the bombshell that said, "We don't want you to produce Janet. We want you to leave Paisley Park label and come over here." So that's my Janet connection.
Oh
yeah.
That's crazy. That's
Eric,
that's crazy.
Tell me what's going on with this record. Are you going to do a tour? What's happening? The videos are killing, man.
Yeah, I'm actually leaving tomorrow. We the first run of dates happened last weekend.
Okay.
And sold out show in my hometown in Memphis. Joe and Mono Neon came in and guest appeared. It was insane, bro. It was insane, man. So we got quite the year lined up, man. And my motto is all gas, no brakes. We're gonna push, and this record deserves heavy promotion, heavy pushing it. We put a lot of hard work into it, and maybe right now I'm number 2 on the charts, and that's behind Kev Mo. And strangely enough, Kev Mo co-wrote on my record. So it's a win-win for us. Yeah, it's a win-win for us both. But I'm foreseeing when we get the numbers in for next week, I think I'm gonna be at number 1, man.
Well, I hope that happens for you, man. You've been waiting a long time, and the Peterson family have been waiting a long time to see that all come to fruition. And again, we couldn't be happier for you and your family. and it's fun to watch, and we love you. And when you come to Minnesota, I expect you and I to play together now.
Hey, it's a must. It's a must. We're going to do it. But I think I'm going to wait till it warm up a little bit.
Do you know right now it's 3 below 0? Why do you think I've got a sweat? You think I'm down? I'm in the basement with a heater to my left and a scarf on because I need it.
I know, man. Bro, wouldn't be Minnesota if it wasn't cold, man.
It's true. Well, you know, what's your connection with Minnesota before I let you go?
Hey, man, I was there, man. I lived there for 2 years, man. That's the first place I came when I left Memphis. I left Memphis because I knew too many of the wrong people, man. And just, you know, sometimes it ain't always the answer, but a geographical change, it works, you know, sometimes, you know, and, you know, it was just, man, I got a warm bear hug from the Minnesota family that I will always have near and dear to my heart. When my wife know that we got a tour and we coming through Minnesota, she love it. She love it because, you know, we just feel like this, we with family up there. You know, I told her, I said, babe, this is my family up here, man. And they took to her very, very well. And, you know, you got your Mario Dawsons, you got Jenny Bean, you know, you got G Sharp, you
Ken
got
Valdez,
Michael Black,
love you, man.
Valdez. I mean, I could just name for days, man. You know,
I know.
And we just love coming up that way. Not to mention, we love Hooks, too. Hooks is the bar.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh.
I know. I know.
Man. Lord, I mess on myself. But yeah, man, that is the connection, man. That's home. And, you know, anytime I have opportunity to come, I love to come.
I look forward to seeing you, man. And, you know, sky's the limit for you, brother. I'm so happy for you. And good luck getting that #1 spot. And, you know, I'll be watching back here and I'll be bugging you.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. This was great.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, make me look and sound pretty, man.
Well, I can't. I'm not a miracle worker, Eric. And on that, we're going to call it. This is episode 54 of Music on the Run with my brother, Eric Gales. Best of luck to you, man. I love you. And we'll see you in a month. Music on the Run was hosted by yours truly, St. Paul Peterson. Edited and produced by my buddy, Davide Raso. Social media by Mary Beth Stevens. And a very special thanks to the people who financially support this podcast. And remember, it's time we all got our crown.